Cy Twombly is an important American artist who died in 2011. There are two striking things about his work. The first is that many of his pieces draw on themes from the past, such as ancient Greece, Rome, and Egypt. The past is a springboard for me. Ancient things are new things. Everything lives in the moment. That's the only time it can live, but its influence can go on forever. Secondly, many of his works break traditional artistic conventions and can be challenging, especially to first-time viewers. One curator said that Twombly worked in a particularly raw and unsettled fashion. One of Twombly's most remarkable and challenging works is a series of 10 large canvases in the Philadelphia Museum of Art called 50 Days in Ilium. They are loosely based on Homer's Iliad, the epic story of the war between the Greeks and the Trojans. The paintings often evoke strong reactions. Combat veterans sometimes say that the images of war are too intense for them, while others trivialize them, saying, "My 5-year-old could do this." Twombly starts out the series by introducing the characters, beginning with Achilles, the greatest of the Greek fighters. Achilles is, above all, a warrior, so Twombly represents him by showing us an image of his shield. But this image also represents the most important quality of Achilles, his deep-seated anger, represented by the blood-red core contained for now by circling darker lines. Listen to the very first line of Homer's epic. "Rage, goddess, sing the rage of Peleus' son Achilles, murderous doom that cost the Achaeans countless losses, hurling down to the house of death so many sturdy souls, great fighters' souls, but made their bodies carrion, feast for the dogs and birds." Now let's meet the rest of the Greek forces. The painting initially seems chaotic, but it is carefully planned out. At the top, we see the names of the gods who favor the Greeks, the female gods, especially Hera and Athena, on the left, the male gods on the right. Later, we will meet the gods who favor the Trojans. In the center, we see the name that the Greeks used for themselves, Achaeans, in blood red. Below the names of the gods and goddesses, we see the names of the human heroes who fought for the Greeks, with Achilles in the darkest red. A crisis breaks out in the Greek camp between Achilles, the best fighter, and Agamemnon, the overall commander. Agamemnon takes away a girl Achilles has captured. Achilles becomes enraged. Note how the image of the shield has morphed into an image of vengeance. The gods won't let Achilles strike Agamemnon directly, so Achilles takes his revenge by refusing to fight, remaining in his tent while the battle goes on. This picture captures the chaos and brutality of the battlefield in Homer's words. At last the armies clashed at one strategic point. They slammed their shields together, screams of men and cries of triumph breaking in one breath. Fighters killing, fighters killed, and the ground streamed blood. Notice this symbol. It suggests a male phallus. See how often it is repeated in the battle scene. Is Twombly saying that war is an expression of male ego and sexual aggressions? And now notice how this phallic symbol seems to have evolved from the symbols we have already seen. First, we saw the symbol of a shield, which then became the symbol of vengeance, and finally it has become an engorged male phallus, perhaps even a gun. The war is going badly for the Greeks. The Greek commanders beg Achilles to return to the battle, but he refuses. Instead, he lends his armor to his friend Patroclus and sends him into the battle. The Greeks think that Achilles has returned, and they rally and turn the battle around. But eventually, Patroclus confronts Hector, the greatest Trojan warrior. Hector kills Patroclus, and worse yet, takes Achilles' armor for himself. Now Achilles is insanely furious and turns his quest for vengeance on Hector, who killed his friend and now wears his armor. Homer's words, Achilles, now like inhuman fire raging on through the mountain gorges, splintered dry, setting ablaze big stands of timber, the wind swirling the huge fireball left and right, chaos of fire, Achilles storming on with brandished spear, like a frenzied god of battle, trampling all he killed, and the earth ran black with blood. The image suggests a blowtorch or a flamethrower. In the next painting, the largest in the series, we see all three of the fighters, Patroclus, Achilles, and Hector, in the same picture. Patroclus is in the center. He has already been killed by Hector. Now Achilles goes to avenge him. He finally encounters Hector. Hector is wearing Achilles' armor. Achilles knows where the gap in the armor is and plunges his spear through to the spot to kill Hector. He ties Hector's body to his chariot and drags it around and around the walls of Troy so that Hector's father, wife, and children and the Trojan people can witness his annihilation. But Achilles knows the prophecy, that when Hector dies, he will soon die after. Now Achilles is dead too, killed by a stray arrow that hits his vulnerable heel. Twombly suggests that his blood-red anger lives on, even after his death. Patroclus, Hector, Achilles, friends and enemies, killers and killed, now they are all equal in death. There are two other large paintings that come next. First, the house of Priam, the ruler of Troy, and we see his name and the names of many of his children, all of whom will die when the Greeks win the war. The largest name is Cassandra, daughter of Priam, and cursed by Apollo, so that she can see the future, but never be believed. Her name is erased, the feminine voice silenced. Now we see the names of the Trojan warriors and the gods, Aphrodite, Ares, and Apollo, who favor them. Of course, the phallic symbol is there again, and we also see the circular designs that evoke the shield that we saw at the beginning. The final two paintings, the last in the series, bring us back to the image of death that we have already seen. The Greeks win the war, kill all the Trojan men and their male children, and enslave all the women. The burning anger of Achilles has transformed into the death of a people, the Ilians, the ancient name for the Trojans. And now the transformation of the images is complete, as we have gone from Achilles' shield to Achilles' vengeance, and then to the phallic symbol of war. These symbols in turn seem to evolve into a fire that consumes all before it, and finally to the pale image of death. Perhaps you like Twombly's style of art, or maybe you hate it, but surely he captures this brutal war in a unique way.